Welcome everybody to Rob's MetalWorks. We are sitting here at the beginning of August, continuing our mission to bring you the best in Texas metal. And tonight, what a special band I'm bringing to you, a band from here in the Alamo City. Really one of the bands who started it all off here for heavy metal in San Antonio. It brings me great pleasure to finally have on the show the band called Wicked Angel, and I have guitarist Roland Casias and drummer Ernest Chavarria here tonight.
Rock and roll, heavy metal, man. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Welcome, guys, to the program. I've been looking forward to tonight for quite some time, believe it or not.
Same here, man. Yeah, we've been dreaming about it.
We've been having great conversations, sharing stories downstairs. And I just love that, that we and you, Rick, can, reminisce about the history of heavy metal and the history of, music in our city, because it's so rich and you guys have kind of always been in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Now, there's people all over the world who watch our show. So, people from Wisconsin or Minnesota or Florida.
Ketzner, where you at? We're here, brother. Come on. Give us a buzz.
There's a lot of people who will want to know a little bit about the history of the band. So let's kind of start there and then we'll move forward. Now, so I want you to share a little bit about how you guys got started. And I know this could be a really deep conversation, but let's keep it kind of brief so that we can have time to get to everything else. But Roland, share a little bit about how this band kind of started and from where in San Antonio you guys are from and things like that.
Yeah, we're from South San Antonio, South San High School. We're all buddies from South San. And, we just started getting into this metal, bands from Europe and so on. And then we just said, hey, let's see if we can't get a band together, And it was that Christmas when we didn't even have guitars yet. And
what year was that, Roland?
This was, I believe, I'm going to say 1981.
Wow.
1981. And
that early?
That's right, because we got into high school in 1980. This was a while back.
Wow.
And we didn't even have guitars at that time, me and Joseph. So we got our guitars and right that Christmas. And then Rick, our buddy Rick, was the first drummer, and we went over to his house and we started jamming.
We're gonna bring Rick into the interview later on as we end out.
And that's how we started, man. High school friends, and we started jamming. Didn't know how to tune a guitar, nothing.
Wow.
And then we just started making up music, and that's how we started, man.
So y'all were in high school?
High school, man. All of us.
17, 18?
We were 17, 18 years
Wow.
old. Even younger than that, I believe, because
I was 15.
Yeah.
15.
So we were like 16 or so, and we just started getting our instruments and started listening to all these bands, and then, man, let's try to learn this stuff. And we were just like caught up in all the 80s metal that we all love.
Right.
And that's how we started, and just started learning songs and started jamming and having a great time, and we're still doing it.
Were there bands already in the San Antonio scene that you had known about at that time? Like what kind of bands? What bands?
Like Slayer. I believe Slayer's EP was coming out at that time. There was a band called Wizard.
Yep.
They were out as well. And so, we kind of looked up to these bands, and, we went to their concerts. And
wow.
So we were influenced by them. Slayer, Wizard.
Yep.
There was another band, Juggernaut. Cyrus was another band. And so all this metal scene that was happening at that time.
Wow.
And we were just like, man, we want to be a part of this. And we were just coming up with our own music, and so that scene was just fantastic, man. In the '80s, as we all know, we're still there, And this start form just moved us as teenagers, and it still does. So we kept on learning and trying to improve, the music, and here we are, man. All these years later, we still have passion for this type of music.
That's beautiful. And that's a good word to use because, at our age, there's no other reason to do it, right?
It's definitely for the passion, man. When we did our recording for Battle for Evil, Larry, was a big help, just took us under his wing, gave us a lot of information, gave us a lot of input, corrected us on things that we should be doing. Asked me like, why are you doing this? And I said, well, it's definitely not for the money. I said, it's for the passion.
Right.
And he goes, good, man, because I'll tell you what, there's no money in it. He told me about the days where like he went out on tour and comes back, and Elda's like, where's the money? Like, what money? Exactly. We had to pay for this hotel and get it right here. So it's always been about the passion. It still burns in our hearts. It still burns within us, and I'm still chasing the dream. My son's like that. You're 56 years old and you came out with a freaking album. My sequel, like, to have your 25-year-old son tell you that, it gives me chills. Yeah, very emotional.
Cool. I had heard that back in the early days when you guys started that there was a 2-song demo that you guys recorded.
We recorded a 2-song demo at Windsor Park Mall. It was
at Windsor Park
Mall. The engineer was Buster's uncle or nephew, and we recorded
Buster from Wizard,
and we recorded Night of the Sacrifice and Legions of the Dead. We had no idea what the hell we were doing. We just wanted to record. I think it cost like $150.
Night of the Sacrifice.
Night of the Sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an old
song.
Yeah.
Actually, we played it. We played it when we opened up for Face Warning. It was kind of a new version of it.
Right.
We're trying to bring it back, and I think we will bring it back. It's because it's a kick-ass metal song. But those were the 2 first original songs that the band Wicked Angel created with Rick, was A Night of the Sacrifice and Legions of the Dead.
Rick was on that demo?
No, I recorded, but it was their first 2 songs that they had ever played with, came up with.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And
it's been lost.
Did that demo have a name, or did it
no?
Have a name?
No, we recorded it. We had a copy of it, and we just. It wasn't good. We knew it wasn't good.
It's lost.
It's lost.
Man. Who knows who has a copy?
The engineer told us it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
I know who has the reels.
That's right.
Oh man, that'd be awesome to hear him.
I know who has the reels. He's not going to give them to you. All right. Well, maybe someday it'll surface.
It'll pop up. That'd be great, man.
Well, maybe it's in Joseph's garage too. It
might be.
And he doesn't know.
If it does pop up, the good thing is you'll see the transition of Legions of the Dead then to how it's become now.
Right.
How it's been recorded. Like it's drastically changed.
Right. Okay. So, and then eventually, you guys put together the Chaotic Intellect demo.
Yeah.
Yes. 86.
In 86. Yeah.
Blue Cat Studios.
Blue Cat Studios.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about that demo. Came out in 86.
Yes.
And you guys released it, you were telling me, on cassette?
On cassette.
100 cassettes.
100 cassettes.
Right.
Okay.
Gumby worked at some had a graphic class at South End High School, so all the production came out of that. So we didn't spend any money in that.
Right.
My uncle financed the cassette. He wanted us to play for his birthday party. He gave us like $500, and we used that to record. And
nice.
And that's how we came up with it.
Yeah.
I wish that we would all have kept a copy of it, because little did we know then what we know now, man. It's rare. It's on eBay for like a couple of $100.
Yeah.
Not as much as Wizard's EP, but it's worth something more than what it was worth back then.
Sure. No, I mean, that's part of Texas metal history, bro.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you guys downstairs, I have a copy of that cassette.
Somewhere on here.
It's somewhere in here. I just cannot find it. And when I do find it, I'm going to fucking message you guys.
Yeah, it's a cool cassette, man. We were young guys, and
drawing.
fucking
drawing.
Yeah, man.
You did the drawing?
Yeah, I did the drawing,
wow.
and
with the face and everything.
Yeah, all that.
Cool.
Yeah, the castle.
Wow.
He was trying to come up with a new cover. I'm like, Roland, this is it. The castle with the skeleton.
Black and white.
Yeah, that was one of my drawings, man. So we did that, and I would do a lot of the T-shirt designs for that in art class in high school. And so as we were coming up with the music, we were coming up with the logo and the T-shirt designs.
Right.
And we were really influenced by a lot of the fantasy, Michael Moorcock, Robert E. Howard fantasy novels at that time, because we were into comic books and fantasy novels, And So we were always into that fantasy world, and the metal seemed to fit really well with it. So a lot of our songs we write, like Lord of the Rings, that kind of thing. Tolkien, Robert E. Howard, Michael Moorcock. The fantasy world just got us going, man. So we would write songs kind of like influenced by that. And so it fit perfect for us. So the illustrations, the drawings, the fantasy, and the metal all went together. Yeah, sword, sorcery, fantasy. So that kind of stuff really appealed to us at that age, and it still does, And so we try to create songs based on that fantasy world and dreamscapes and so on. Yeah. And so that's kind of like what we do, And but yeah, man, back then that was a big influence on us. And so we did that little cassette, and so put that out. And so, but it's rare nowadays, to find a copy of it. And but we learned a lot. Some of the production on it, we were learning. But
so where did y'all do that?
Blue Cat Studios.
Blue Cat Studios, yeah.
And who engineered it? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I'm not
name.
Sure the name. The guy he
Just
did a lot of Tejano stuff, right?
It was the guy who did the Slayer EP.
Really, it was him? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he had some metal experience too.
That's what it was.
So
that's where Slayer did their first.
Really, at Blue Cat?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, they did.
It was him.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple things I want to add. Mark Zamaron was the bass player for the band at that time.
Awesome bass player, awesome musicianship, great stage presence, man. I mean, I love the guy.
And for people who don't know that name, Mark Zamaron eventually went on to be the frontman and vocalist for
Las
Cruces from here in San Antonio. And those dudes got a deal with Brain Ticket, and their first record, like I told you guys downstairs, is one of my favorite all-time San Antonio releases. He was a great vocalist in that band. And we talked about this downstairs briefly, but I remember when I was at the release show back in June 21st, Joseph kind of, you guys played a song, and Joseph kind of brought him up and said, hey, Mark kind of helped write this song. What song was that?
I believe Stealer of Souls was the song he was referencing there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Mark has a lot of talents, man, as a singer and a bass player. And he's been in different bands, multiple bands. Yeah. And his time with us, he spent some time with us recording that first EP.
Yep.
And he's a very talented individual, It's kind of ashamed that we had to part ways, but he wanted to do other things. Yeah. And so, like a lot of the bands,
Sure.
And so, but yeah, man, I mean, he really contributed a lot to that first EP. And so Joseph, I believe, wanted to give him a little bit of credit at that release party.
Sure.
Because we did play a few songs from that first EP.
Yeah. What Mark had that I still carry with me is Mark had a vision, passion, and that just kind of burned within me, kind of took me under his wings. I mean, Mark was 2 years older than me. I was the youngest one in the band when I first joined the band. And over the years, he was like my big brother. And he I still tell the guys that the vision that he had, the stage presence, the go get it, let's go and get it, no nonsense. I live by that. I still live by that. I'm sure that he carried that on with a lot of the other bands. I kind of lost track of him, but the way he taught me, I still carry that with me. I mean, it still stays with me. I'm a go getter. I'm hungry. I have the passion, and he would always say, "Earn, man. No one's gonna give you nothing. You got to go out and get it. You got to go out and get it."
Right.
So I definitely miss his stage presence because the guy was phenomenal on stage.
Yeah. He had this confidence about him.
Big confidence
about himself. So when the band officially formed at that time, the chaotic Intellect era, the young era, when did y'all eventually break up, and why?
I'm gonna tell you. Oh my God, I love this story. Okay, so we had a gig at Joe's Garage in Fort Worth, it was our first gig to be out of town. And the next day we're getting ready to leave. And Joseph could not go because he had gotten a job at HEB. Roland disappeared out of the face of the earth. So we couldn't find him. He just disappeared. We didn't have cell phones back then, so we had to cancel the gig. Call the guys up in Fort Worth, says, hey, we can't make it.
Yeah, we couldn't make the gig.
So because of that, the band broke up. And here's why. We felt Gumby wanted to join Roulette.
Right.
Because he was good friends with Victor Vargas.
Yeah.
The singer had just gone on to Fate's Warning.
Ray Alder.
Ray Alder had just gone to Fate's Warning. So I think Gumby wanted to go with Roulette because they were more pretty boyish.
Right.
So Mark and I had this thing. We don't want to be this band who replaces band members. We saw Slayer become Narita.
Right.
Cyrus lost Michael and Ken.
Right.
You know, a lot of bands, you know, they were replacing members.
Sure.
We didn't want to be that. So because Roland, because Gumby was not into the band and Roland had disappeared, we just said, you know what? There's something missing here. Let's just drop it. I ended up joining the Navy and the band kind of dismantled. I think it reformed back about a year later or a few months later with a different drummer and a different singer. But that was the break of the band. Was not making that gig to Joe's Garage.
Wow.
That was it.
Roland, where the fuck were you?
Well, what had happened was I had gotten a scholarship to go to the University of Wisconsin.
Wow.
To go and study art, you know, because I had always been into art. So as I was playing with metal, you know, these guys, I was attending first SAC and then Palo Alto College.
Yeah.
And then I had got a scholarship to study art, right? And I had not told anybody. So they said, well, where's it at? It's in Wisconsin. Are you interested? You know? And so, you know, and then we had this gig in Fort Worth. And then I said, well, what do I do, man? You know, do I continue on playing metal, these guys, or do I go to school in Wisconsin? And ultimately, you know,
for sure.
Yeah, I went to Wisconsin.
For sure.
And that's what happened. And so I went and studied art.
Wow.
Painting and drawing and that kind of stuff.
The story you heard back then was
it might have been
that was not the story you heard back then.
The story you heard back then was that he had driven to Laredo because he had this girl who had 3 titties.
Oh yeah, that was my.
And you believed it.
Dude, I believe him. I believe it.
That was that girlfriend.
And you were like, oh, 3 titties.
Yeah,
okay.
No, these guys didn't
That's
believe
worth
me,
it,
you know.
bro. That's worth it.
And then I said, no, man, that's true, dude. I have one of her bras, dude. I said, I want to see that bra. It's like, when you see the bra, that's exactly right. I had a girlfriend with 3 boobs.
Where were you guys? I was like, bro, I drove to Laredo because she said, if you love me, you're going to come, you're driving. So I got in my Camaro.
Hey, wouldn't you go to Laredo for a girl with 3 boobs, man?
Yeah, I would too, bro.
That wasn't an ex. That was just her long haul, bro.
It's like, yeah, dude, I'm there, man. It's like, well, show me some proof. I'll show you the bra, dude. It's like, I still got it, man. It's like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I took off to Wisconsin, man, Madison, Wisconsin, and that was a whole nother adventure for me.
Did you drive up or fly? Or?
I drove up there and with another guy that went up there too, right? And we had gotten scholarships, and then that was a whole nother adventure, dude, that we could get into, but it was not about metal. So I was playing classical guitar at that time, you know, and so I went up there and I studied classical guitar with an instructor from Bolivia. And he had studied with Andres Segovia in Spain. So I was playing classical guitar up there in Wisconsin. And so I learned a lot from him, and then I was painting. And so that's the world that I had gone into for a few years.
Yeah.
And so I was not in the metal world for a while, man. And then you know, I really had a great time up there, man. And so we would do all this stuff, paint and play classical guitar and play chess and all philosophy.
And freeze your ass off.
Yeah, cold as hell up there.
I know.
And so, yeah, that's right. Wisconsin, Madison, man, is a whole nother world. And
yeah, I bet.
So that's what happened, man. But then I came back to San Antonio, and that's when we got back together.
Yeah, we had to dig him out after this Chaotic Intellect re-release came out.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And that's where I'm going next, Ernest. The reissue of Chaotic Intellect came out in 2013 through Texas Metal Underground Records. For some of you people who have not yet seen that, go ahead and take a look at it. The guy who ran TMU Records was Scott Fulweiler, and as I shared with you guys downstairs, Scott Fulweiler was like my best friend. He and I were very, very good friends. Look, there's a picture of he and I right up there. Yeah. We spend many a days in this room drinking and talking about metal. And he brought me a couple of the vinyls of the reissue. How did you guys get connected with Scott Fulweiler?
So apparently Mark is the one who was hit up. I remember I was flying.
He hit Mark up.
I believe so. So what happened was I was flying for an airline, and I ran to Gabby, which was Joseph's wife at the time, at Target. And she said, the guys are looking for you. I'm like, oh, we're getting your reunion. She was like, yeah, shit. So I called up Mark because I still had Mark's number or visited his home. And he's like, yeah, so there's this guy from Austin who wants to re-release our demo on vinyl. And I need everybody's signature. You know, I had the reels. So Mark said, I need to get the reels from you. I'm like, so I gave them to Mark. Mark gave them to Scott. And we came up with the vinyl. And then that's how we ended up kind of getting back together. But Roland... I don't think we had asked him, and I think he had said he wasn't interested in getting back together. So it was just us. It was me, Joseph, Mark, and a guy named Jeff D, because Gumby was out of town, so Gumby was not part of the band at that time. So the album got re-released.
But did you have to get Roland's signature?
I don't think so.
I was painting and
in 2013.
I was painting and making chess sets and making chocolates and doing all kinds of other stuff.
Chocolate candy, man.
And,
wow.
Bean to bar chocolate and painting and doing all kinds of other stuff.
He probably said, you guys do whatever. Because that's
playing in chess tournaments, I'm cool. So, but I was still playing a lot of classical guitar, right? And I had even gotten started building Spanish guitars, right? So I got into lutherie and all this other kind of stuff. And so I was not involved in the metal world. And then somehow Joseph had invited me and said, hey, we're having a gig, man. You know, you want to jam? And so I took him up on it, and I showed up with my guitar for one of these gigs or practice. And that's how we started back up again.
Yeah, we practically begged him, like, bro, we need you. I mean, like, two guitars is better than one.
Right.
He decided to give it a shot.
And these are your tunes, so yeah. So once Scott got the masters, he put the reissue together. And again, this is a hard copy of the Chaotic Intellect demo. This was a straight reissue, right? There was no remastering or nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I remember when Scott brought it to me, I was like, wow, this is fucking cool. I have the cassette. I have the cassette. Man. I think back then I knew where it was. Yeah, okay, so is that vinyl still available? I mean, now we know Scott Fulweiler passed away in 22. So I really don't think anybody
I'll tell you what
took
happened.
over his work.
Something Dushmore. Ron Dushmore? I mean, that's his name.
Dunsmore.
Ron Dunsmore.
But bought all his stuff.
Because I ended up contacting him. And
Rodney Dunsmore.
Yes. So I ended up buying 20 vinyls from him.
Right.
And I believe I did contact him again. I think he maybe have 2. Because I wanted to sell them at our when we had our CD release party. Right. But I did buy. I think that's the last of it.
But you bought those from Scott or Rodney?
No, from Rodney.
Oh.
I pretty much bought him off.
Did Rodney say he had any more after that?
No, I contacted him again. He said, I think I have 2 more. And I've been trying to get those 2 from him. I still have 4 because I have one of every color. Right. They came in orange, splat, purple, and some other one. So I do have one of every color.
Mine was red. I don't know if you saw it downstairs.
I didn't see
the one I was playing downstairs is red.
Okay.
And this one, I don't know.
Oh, shoot.
I have 2.
Oh, wow.
So here's the second one I have. I don't know what color this one is.
I do want to say something about that, if I may.
Go ahead.
As like Rick is my buddy,
right?
And he was the Wicked Angel drummer. He's the one who introduced me to this metal underground scene, and we're good friends in high school. When the record came out, there was an insert. There's a little picture insert.
I have it.
It's like there's all these pictures of Rick, and none of me like.
This is one of the inserts.
Dang it! Well, no. There's
a poster.
No, yeah, right. That's a
But
poster.
I know what you're talking about. It's like
there's like
a sleeve.
tablet, a tablet or thing.
Yeah.
Right. And pictures of Rick. I'm like, God damn it! I recorded this album, not Rick. But I'm like, you know what, Rick? You know what? I always told Rick, you're always going to be part of Wicked Angel.
Sure.
Always, because this was your band. You introduced me to the guys, so I'm always welcome to share the stage with him. There's been a couple of times where we play and I say, hey dude, come up here and play this song, and he will. As a matter of fact, we got a show coming up in the Valley in Harlingen, and I just told him, I said, hey dude, we're gonna open up for Santa Oscuridad, learn Legions of the Dead the new way, and come up and jam it. Because he's always been a supporter, and he was like as much as Tommy Lee, Tommy Aldridge were inspirations to me, Ken Ortiz. He was really my first inspiration, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I like Peter Criss, but when you meet a local friend, a local guy who's playing in a local metal band, it's when you're 13, 14 years old, it's like, whoa, man, I know this guy who plays the band. That was Rick. That was my freaking idol.
It's interesting too that all these guys that we know, right, from South San, they were all drummers in the marching band, right? So the marching band every single one of them.
They all walk around with their little thing.
All of these guys that we know, Victor Vargas, who's passed away, and then Danny Castaneda, Mario Pozos, all of it, Ernie, Rick, all of them were drum corps guys, they were drum majors, dude, and they were in the or drummers, right? They were drummers, right? But they were all in the marching band, man. And so it's like, where do we find some drummers? Well, they're all in the marching. Let's go to South San High School Drum Corps. They're all there, dude. It's like every single one of them were all buddies.
And they're more than likely into metal.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Let me tell you a quick story, bro. In the early days of Rob's Metalworks, the early days, cable access days, in the closing credits of the show, I used to put my phone number. And I would tell people, hey, call me if you want to fucking support metal. And the show would come on like at, from 11 to 12 or whatever. And then after the show ended at 12, my phone would start ringing. And, there were some people who weren't happy about that, but still, I would answer the phone. Right. And the first thing I would say is, after they would say, oh, Rob, we love your show. Thanks for showing Nevermore or whatever. I would always say, what's your name? What's your email? I said, and give me your zip code. What's your zip code? So after, several years, I had built a huge database, like a spreadsheet of people who had called in, people who I knew were watching the show. Now, mind you, remember, this is before fucking social media, cell phones. And so once I got, a database full of hundreds of people, most of these people were from the south side of San Antonio, and most of these people went to South San High School.
Man, shit. The metal high school capital of the south side.
Let me go one step further. Back at that time, I worked for Our Lady of the Lake University.
Oh wow!
And so I was like a admissions rep. So I would have to go visit the high schools. And I would set up a table with Our Lady of the Lake stuff, like during lunch at the high school. Yeah, recruiting. Yeah. And then at South San High School, everybody would come up and say, you're fucking Rob's Metalworks. All the kids from South. And then one kid would run off and tell all his friends, Rob's Metalworks is over here. And they would all come and see, but I would be all dressed up in my, dude. South San Antonio, fucking metal all the way.
Let's see. Cyrus came out of Harndale, one band. Relay came out of McCullum. We had Wicked Angel, Well, Burbank had Wizard. We had Wicked Angel. We had Medallion.
Yep.
We had a couple of other
Wow.
Conquest.
Yep.
And there was another band with Juan Ramos.
Yeah, that was them. There was
There was like 5 bands, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, dude,
5
that
bands.
whole era, everybody, man, was into the metal scene. You know, that was like, man, that was like the art form that we had just gotten like inspired by. You know, and so, you know, it wasn't unusual to see everybody man get into Oblivion.
And
right?
then you'd see all these people at the fucking South Side parties.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At the backyard parties, right?
Yeah,
All the metalheads would be at the
man.
backyard parties.
We played a whole bunch of them, man.
When we played Kenneth's birthday party.
Yep.
At a backyard.
Back when it was safe to do so.
Right. You could go to a party, man, without
have a
any,
good-
any trouble.
Without your cuete, you wouldn't have
Yeah,
to worry.
right.
worry about- yeah, exactly. So when the reissue came out, you guys did some shows, and then you disbanded again.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys got back together again in 2018, I think. Is that right?
Well, actually, 2021.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Was Mark back in the band? He never got back in the band.
No, Mark left the band back like right around
After Chaotic.
right shortly around.
But he
Chaotic.
never came back.
Never came back.
Okay.
Never came back.
I was a little confused because, like I told you guys earlier, I have a photo, and I was at one of those shows, and Mark Zamarón is in the picture.
He did?
So I think he just came to check it out.
No. He played at the Chaotic. At the Chaotic release. He did play. He
did,
Yes.
but he wasn't back in the band.
No, he was back in the band. Because that's why we did the reunion.
That's what I just asked
Okay,
you.
man, my bad.
Yeah. So I just asked you. He got back in the band.
He left after pretty much maybe about a year after Chaotic.
Yeah. And then you had Raymond Valles singing.
No, we had Jeff D singing.
Oh, okay. Jeff D was singing. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Gumby was still in Houston. Gumby was still in Orange County, so he hadn't even come back to San Antonio.
wow,
And so we had a guy named Jeff D,
Jeff D.
and he was singing for us. We did some gigs with him,
Yeah.
and so that's when we were like doing some gigs and you know, playing around different clubs. Yeah.
Well, I'm
And,
glad that you guys decided to do some gigs because, you know, Scott was all about the old Texas metal scene.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was his niche. And I remember he wanted to really kind of promote your record, talk about Wicked Angel, and you know, that's why he was like, Rob, come on, you know, I'm gonna go into San Antonio and check out fucking Wicked Angel. I said, let's go, man, let's go check it out. And if I recall, you know, I think that was like one of the first times that I'd kind of seen the band, and then of course I had seen the band subsequently after that. But after those kind of shows, you guys kind of went on a little hiatus again. Was that true?
Yeah, you know, guys, you know, were busy doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Some guys were playing in cover bands, you know, and some guys were playing Tejano music and other kinds of 90s music.
Cover bands.
And, of course, I was in the art world. And so, you know, it wasn't always a full-time thing that we did, but we would get together and then jam, depending on people that was in the band.
Sure.
But then when Gumby came back from Orange County, then we started to rehearse and write new material.
Right.
And that's when we really
What year was that, Roland?
Now this was I'm thinking about 2020 because it was before the shutdown, you know.
Right.
And so we were doing some demo tapes, you know, at this pretty cool studio on the south side where they do a lot of Tejano music. And so we were doing some demos and then writing songs, and then they shut everything down, you know. So this was about 2020. And so we were writing material and trying to record some demo stuff. and then it just shut down, and the whole thing, what happened. But once we started, when it started to open up again, we started playing more gigs with Gumby. And that's when we got more calls to play. And we started playing in the Valley. We started playing in Dallas, or different places around here. And
backtrack a little bit. Yeah, pretty. So we were at a standstill, and we're kind of lost. We didn't, like back in the 80s, back in '87, we didn't have guidance. Being in the '50s, we still didn't have guidance. So we reached out to James Rivera. I did, like, what the hell is going on with us? Like, why are we not succeeding? And he flat out said, whatever you guys put out. So we started creating new music, and that music did get us more gigs. We still hadn't recorded yet, but our biggest break came when Mike Plata from Silver One Events. God dog it. They gave us our big break band. They took us to McAllen to open up for HELSTAR and Ripper Owens.
Sure.
And I think that was like the rebirth of Wicked Angel, because
that's cool.
I mean that did it. And from then on, James I'm gonna take you guys to Larry's studio, and you guys are gonna record. And that's how we came up with Battle for Evil. Yeah.
That's cool that Mike gave you that kind of opportunity, which shows that, in one, that he's a fan of Wicked Angel, and two, that he respects and loves San Antonio metal. So yeah, that's cool, man. And one of the things too, before we get into Battle for Evil, which is where we're going next, when Gumby came back from California, did he tell you I want to be back in the band? Was he ready to get back into metal?
Yeah, he was, man, because he was seen as gig, and he really wanted to come back into the scene, and he was seen as jam out and have all this great time, and he said, man, I'm ready to go, man, and so we did. We brought him in, and it was clicking. And that's when we started writing some tunes. And
like, this is the real fucking Wicked Angel.
Yeah, man. Because then we got our original singer back.
Yeah.
And so let's do this, man.
Yeah.
We got I was writing some new tunes. And
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. And
yeah.
So that was really what brought everything all back together.
Let me say this as we get into the new record. I think having Gumby back is crucial. Because when I saw you guys play at the release party, and we'll talk more about the release party in a bit, I just, having Gumby up there fronting the band versus like someone like Jeff D, just made so much more of an impact to me as a fan, because it was his voice on Chaotic, which kind of took me back.
Right.
And so I feel that it was a blessing that, one, he wanted to come back and be part of the band, and two, that you guys weren't committed to some other guy for so long, and then you might have told Gumby, sorry, this guy's been with us for 5 years already. We can't just kick him out.
Right.
But that you guys still had an opportunity for him to come on in and bring life back into Wicked Angel.
Absolutely, man. Because he's the original Wicked Angel singer.
Because Roland, as great as you are, as the mastermind as you are, and I'll never, I'll always praise you, bro, because as Ernest has said many times tonight already, you are the mastermind. You and on the guitar, and just kind of like Larry. I think about Larry Barragan and HELSTAR. Like, there can be no HELSTAR without James Rivera.
Oh yeah,
and there can be no HELSTAR without Larry Barragan.
Right? No, man.
So it's like you kind of, as great as you are in writing these songs, you still needed Gumby there to fill that void and to be the front man.
Absolutely, man.
And man,
he's the voice of Wicked Angel, man.
He is the voice of Wicked Angel.
He's the voice of Wicked Angel.
He is the voice. So let's get into the real reason why we're here. Now that we're done with all right here, carnal, I got you. Right, that we're done here with all the fucking history. Let's talk about why we're here tonight, and the reason that I wanted you guys here on the show, because like I told Julie, I've known about you guys for a long time, And now I have an opportunity and a reason to have you guys on the show to talk about a record that I definitely want to promote. And I want to promote it because I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I am a fan of this record. So everybody out there, this is the record we're going to be talking about here next. For those of you outside of our region, go ahead and take a good look at the record. It is called Battle for Evil. It came out in June 21st. So 25th. Be sure to look for it on all your music media outlets and get it tonight after you finish watching this interview. Now, first of all, let me say that I'm a fan of this record because when I heard Battle for Evil, I was like, wow, this is like Chaotic Part 2. It sounds like Wicked Angel. You guys kept the same vibe, Gumby's voice, everything. I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking Wicked Angel. Like it wasn't like something new and different, because if it probably was, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. I loved how you guys stayed loyal to the classic sound of the band.
One thing about that you mentioned that is when I send the MP3s to a lot of record labels and a lot of radio stations, there was this one lady that I sent it to, Liana Rahman out of Houston. She put me in contact with a lot of radio stations and a lot of promoters, and the feedback that I got from all of them was like, "Damn, this is fucking 80s metal."
Yeah,
you know, it takes me back to the 80s. See, I'm like, we're still that's exactly what we are. We're still the 80s scene. And I think I mentioned to you earlier, like I'm stuck in the past, you know. I mean, I'm that's where I'm stuck at.
That's who you are, bro.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
That's where our passion is at, you know. And you know, forgive us if I cannot go away from that, but it is. It's 80s metal.
No, you can't change who you are,
No, you
bro.
can't. And you know, a lot of art, man.
A lot of bands, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, Roland, but a lot of bands who change who they are, then they kind of lose, like...
Yeah, they do.
They lose their fan base, and then they lose their self-identity.
Yep, that's right. And, you know, a lot of this stuff, man, is timeless. Like, a lot of art, you know, is timeless. Because, you know, you can listen to music from years past, and it still moves you, you know? It doesn't matter what time, you know, it's like, it's timeless. So you listen to some powerful music, and it could be 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It still moves you no matter what, because art is a timeless form. You know, art is timeless, and it's like it doesn't matter what year it is, whether it's 85 or 2005 or 2025.
Right.
It's still gonna move me. You know, it's still gonna move people if you put everything you got into the music. Then that's really the power of the music, you know, regardless of what the time is. It's like it's timeless art form.
Yeah, it's kind of what kind of Larry Barragan said to Roland when we recorded. He's like, you have this passion for this music, and it shows through it.
Right.
He goes like, don't ever let that get away. You know?
Right.
I mean, and he goes, when I see you play, like you play with passion, and as you're playing it, I see it come out. You know. There's guitar players that'll just play whatever, but when I see you play, like I see that passion.
Larry dijo, put the chocolate down and pick up your guitar, carnal.
Yeah, man. You know, it's like you know, metal is a very emotional type of thing. You know, and to think that metal has a lot of emotion, man, in it. You know, the riffs, the power. You know, it's like it moves people, man. You know, it gets us going. Whether you listen to it and make it, it's like that's why we're into it, man. And it's like it still moves me to this day. When I was a 15-year-old, 16-year-old teenager, it moved me, and to this day, it moves me. You know, and you hear all this music.
Your emotions are the same way as it was back in
and this is why we you know really you know
our metal heart's in the same place. Right. We're just getting older.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Battle for Evil came out on June 25th last month. Well, a couple months ago now. 4 songs. Ferryman, which I love. Battle for Evil, the title track. Phantazma. Phantazma. That's a word Julie doesn't like for me to say because she gets scared. Exactly. And then Legions of the Dead. So I have to talk about Legions of the Dead because that was one of the song from the original 2-song demo.
That's the first song Wicked Angel ever created.
Right.
Back in.
But now we have now with Battle for Evil
81.
We have a recorded version of it.
The best recording version of it because there's several recordings out there. There's the one from Windsor Park Mall. There's one,
but I thought those were lost. They're not.
That was lost.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one from
yeah.
Windsor Park Mall is lost.
It's lost.
We created one with Jeff.
Okay.
That's actually on Reverb Nation with Jeff.
Singing Legions for the Dead.
Singing Legions of the Dead.
Oh wow!
Anybody pull it up, bro.
Wow, show it to me later, Rick.
Okay. And then as Gumby came in, and we played it, he definitely redesigned it, and it's our best.
This is the modern version of it.
The best version yet.
Yeah, cool. So 4 songs. The first single was Phantazma. Phantazma. Why did you guys choose that one? Because I think it could have been any of this. Because I love Ferryman too. I think Ferryman's a great song.
Yeah, I think what we were trying to do is just we had a schedule as to when we were putting these out, you know, and so we were choosing, just the songs, which one would be best, and then so we just chose that one and put Phantazma out there, and then we were going with the other ones. And but yeah, it was really not really any one particular order. It's just that we just happened to choose Phantazma first.
I remember when I first saw the lyric list, I was like, Phantasm, that's the dude with the fucking spikes in your
Right.
Remember that horror movie?
Yeah.
With the Phantasm?
Yeah.
That's what I thought about first. Like, oh, it's Phantazma. What's the reception been like so far for the new record?
Wow, I'm glad you asked that. Well, we definitely got a good review from you.
Yeah,
we had a good review from Nico's something from Greece. That was actually our first record review, and he loved it.
Yeah.
Honestly, every radio station and label that I've sent it to, they've really loved it.
Yeah.
I have not had any negative feedback from it, to be honest with you. It's
what's not to love?
I mean, it's
a fucking
kick-ass EP, man. We wish we could have put more songs into it, but we were actually we wanted something out, because James said, you guys did not put nothing out, you're not going to get nowhere until you put something out,
right? And
I told the guys, hey man, we got to put something out, so we pushed through,
and you got to put it out right.
Correct. So there was a 5th song that we could have included, Necronomica, but I don't think we're quite ready for it.
Is it already recorded?
It's not recorded.
Oh, okay.
But we have played it live, and it's a kick-ass song.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to fucking blow your wad all quickly, and especially in today's market, releasing a 4-song EP is pretty normal.
Yeah,
that's pretty normal.
Yeah, it is.
And then you can do another 4-song EP in January or February, whatever.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So I think you guys played it right, man. Why Battle for Evil as the title track too?
Yeah, that was a song, we were writing, and, thing about the craft of writing these pieces, man, like the metal songs, and trying to improve our songwriting is another thing. We've been trying to improve, our playing our instruments, shoot from trying to get better and play better, but also songwriting, the storytelling, and the compositions and so on. It's like, in many ways, I take influences from painting and how you compose a painting, and how you bring in elements of variety and unity and rhythm and tone and so on, and melody and focal point and things like that. And so some of these ideas that we use in painting to compose paintings, I kind of try to bring into the music world and the metal world. And so trying to compose a song that keeps a listener engaged, but also gives them some surprises once in a while, you know, and
lots of layers, like a
yeah,
painting.
layers, like a painting. You know?
Yeah.
So you look at a painting and there's a story there, a narrative, and but there's also all kinds of surprises sometimes, you know, and so all the great artists and great musicians will compose these pieces that have that, and I think that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think the reason why we chose Battle for Evil as a title track is every time we played it, especially when we opened up for Ripper Owens and HELSTAR at Paper Tiger, some promoter said that's y'all's hit.
Oh,
That's the song that's gonna get you guys noticed, and that stuck to me. So I'm like, you know what? Our number one song is going to be Battle for Evil, and then that has to be our title.
Sure.
I forget who the guy was. You know, I want to say he was someone big, but if I can't remember his name, you know, I'm just real bad with that. But I remember him saying that's y'all's outcoming song.
I think that's important too. Sometimes when you listen to people outside of the circle, because sometimes, you know, when you're so close to the painting and you go over the painting over and over and over again. When you have someone from outside the circle to give you a totally objective perspective on your songs and what song resonated with them, you know, it's like, oh yeah,
right.
okay.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you never know.
Yeah.
You know, I love Ferryman a lot, and I love Battle for Evil a lot. I mean, to me, the record could have easily be called Ferryman. I would have loved it. But nonetheless, you know.
Yeah.
One thing that also happened to us is when we opened up for Omen at Bonds 007.
Yeah.
Omen singer's daughter came up to us and said, "Man, my dad really loves you guys. His favorite song is Battle for Evil." You know,
wow.
And that was a big. I mean, to hear that, it was like, shit. The freaking singer from Omen likes us, man, and he likes one of our songs. And for his daughter to come up and say to us, "You guys fucking kicked ass," and my dad loves you guys, and this is his favorite song. You guys keep it up. You know, don't give up on the dream.
Right. All right. So we kind of alluded to this earlier, but Larry Barragan of HELSTAR did the record, and I remember, Ernest, when you sent me the tracks or this EP, and I started listening to it. One of the things that I enjoyed about it too was just how great it sounded. And I remember initially hearing that Larry had done the record, which actually caught me by surprise when I found about it, when I saw a posting that you guys had done when and there was a picture of you guys in the studio with Larry, and I was like, wow, this is cool. So, and I know Larry is at a point now with his engineering and recording that he does fabulous work. Oh, yeah. So when I heard Battle for Evil, I was like, yeah, classic fucking Wicked Angel with a modern fucking production. It sounds amazing. You've also kind of talked a little bit about Larry's working with the band, so let's just dive a little bit deeper into that. You guys recorded with him back in February of this year, and did you guys? I just said you guys were in a studio, so you guys would go to Houston.
Yeah, we went to Houston for the weekend, and man, the most
knocked it out on a weekend.
Knocked it out on a weekend. The most hospitality person and humble guy.
Yeah, Larry's great.
I love the guy. I mean, him and Imelda were just great. But the best thing about Larry was he was very open, and when, like, I remember playing a drum part, and he's like, "That's not gonna work. If I'm gonna put my name on this, it's gonna be kick ass. Right. So you need to change that because that's not gonna work." So he told us, okay, this is what I suggest.
Right.
Doesn't mean you gotta do it.
Right.
But
right.
I mean, from a guy who's done 15 albums.
Right.
I mean, there was a song where Phantazma. We were so used to playing it one way.
Right.
Roland would play this lead over the singing,
right.
and we loved it. But
Larry said
like,
no.
No, that's not going to work.
Hold on. When anytime Larry does a gig in San Antonio, he always stays at my house. So when he stays here, of course, we always hang out and talk. And he told me that story. Because he told me that story. And, we're hanging out, drinking beer and talking. And I said, hey, man, you did a great job on the Wicked Angel record, bro. Goes, yeah, man, it was great. I said, how was it? Did everything? He goes, yeah, but it was good, but I just kind of had to educate these guys on, kind of song structure.
Taught us a lot, man.
He goes, I had to educate these guys a little bit on some strong. Like, what do you mean? He goes, well, there was this one song where the guy was playing the solo over the singing, and but he didn't blame it on you, Roland. I think he did it on blamed it more on Gumby, and was telling Gumby like, you can't sing over this part, you got to sing.
It was one or the other, man. Because, we kept thinking like, okay, and if he told me that, because when we did the demo, I was just ripping, I was just trying to play over it, man, and he goes, look, man, like a painting, the focal point, right? It says, have you ever heard a Merciful Fate song where, somebody plays a lead over King Diamond? And no. And I thought, yeah, you're right, man. It's like, no, of course not. It's like you're losing the focal point. It's either the vocals or the solo, man.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, you're right, man. I mean, I didn't think about that. It's when we did the scratch, the demo, I just, like, they hit the button and I just started playing, And it sounded good to me, but he goes, no, man, you're losing the focal point. So Larry taught us that, and we learned a lot from Larry. We're still learning from Larry. I mean,
that's what you're fucking paying him for.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
That's what you're fucking paying him for. So that's the producer part.
That's the producer, man. He produced this record, man. He did a fantastic job. I mean, Larry is the best, man.
Did you record there too?
Yes. We did.
You recorded there.
We recorded there, dude, in his studio.
Produced
engineered.
And he sent the master.
He sent it to
the masters were done.
Somebody in Dallas.
Yeah, in Dallas.
Whoever mastered their HELSTAR.
The record sounds great, bro.
Right.
It was all worth it.
Larry is phenomenal, man. Now I also got to give credit to James, because James kind of schooled Gumby a little bit on the singing. With his expertise. I think the best thing that I enjoyed was the chanting of Legions of the Dead. And, like Larry tells us, hey, Legions of the Dead is y'all's, or what is ours, Rome with the Pack, right? They're
Legions of the Dead.
Yeah, so it's like ours. And the fact that whenever we play, he's around, he always gets on stage and does that chanting with us. I mean, we appreciate that, and we love him for that. So he kind of helped us create that, just the little changes that he did were such a blessing. So thanks, Larry. I mean, you're the bomb, brother.
So obviously the record is out on vinyl, like you brought me tonight. Is there also CDs available?
Yes.
Okay.
We do have some CDs.
If people out there tonight are watching the show tonight, and of course, you can download the record from various music outlets. But let's say they want a hard copy, they're old schoolers. Where should they go and get the hard copy?
Just Facebook me, DM me on Facebook. I have all the CDs. We each have so many of vinyl.
DM you at the
on Facebook.
Wicked Angel?
No, just Ernest. Look me up.
Tell the people.
Look me up on Facebook, Ernest Chavarria.
Wicked Angel.
Or Wicked Angel. 210-605-7762. There's my number. But I have all the CDs. All of us have vinyls. I don't know how many of us are selling our vinyls, right? Because what we did was we all pitched in and financed the vinyl, so each of us got so many. Like I've sent out so many of mine for free to people that I want to thank.
Right.
So, like for your example.
Sure.
And I'm thankful for that. So I sent out free vinyls. I'm not sure. Roland said he sold a couple to his brother, his buddies, and so forth like that. But if you need the CDs or vinyls, shirts, merchandise, just call me, DM me on Facebook. Look me up on Facebook, Ernest Chavarria, and I'll either mail it to you or drop it off. We are trying to improve on the merchandise. We're trying to grow. We're learning a lot. I mean, I know we're in our 50s, and we should kind of know the system, but we're still learning.
You're 80s, bro.
We're 80s, man. None of us know. I told Roland, okay, record your song and then let me have it so I can put drum parts. He said, record it on what? I said, on your iPhone. Just record it. I can't even do that.
I do want to say one thing though. When I went to the release party, Gumby gave me a T-shirt. Or was it you? I can't remember. You gave me the T-shirt. I thought y'all's T-shirts are the vinyl or they're cool.
Really?
Yeah,
I love that way better than the fucking cotton.
Yeah. Okay. So I got this buddy who I work for who does
what is this? Not it's not vinyl. What is it?
It's like
nylon.
Nylon.
Yeah.
Nylon. So,
dude, I remember when you gave me it, I was like, wow.
I know,
I told
it's
Julie, I said, Wow, this is fucking. I've never had a metal shirt like this.
Yeah. Well, again, like we're tight on money. We don't have things. So like I invest a lot of my own money in our merchandise.
Sure.
So what I did was I got this buddy of mine who orders uniforms from China, and I said, hey man, I need you to finance me money so I can get some shirts made, and he did. But he was like so against cotton. He's like, you know what? No, you need to use this. Well, if he's gonna pay for it and I pay him later, I'm like, I can't say no, right? So it was a different.
I like
material.
it. I like it.
Surprised. Thanks, man.
I like that nylon.
So
whatever it is.
You heard it from Rob's MetalWorks.
It's great.
Your vinyl from Wicked shirt from me. DM me, man.
It's a pleasant change. Okay, so hopefully people will be contacting and getting that hard copy. I'm one of those old people fans. I love hard copy. So thank you so much for bringing me a vinyl. And we already spun it downstairs on my stereo, so it sounds great. Sounds fucking great.
I'm surprised they didn't put a CD in your VIP package thing.
No, I didn't get a CD. It's okay though. The vinyl's good enough for me. Let's talk about shows now, and let's initially start with something that I've already mentioned: the June 21st release party at the Starlighter off of Fredericksburg.
Yeah,
I remember I'd never been there before, so I didn't know what to expect. And I remember when I got there, there was people outside, and I met you outside, and Gumby was outside, and then when I went in, it was like I was kind of freaked out because it was like not too big,
right? It's
and
a small place.
It's a small place, and then I was like, they better sell fucking booze here.
Yeah, right.
The lady in the back said, "Yeah, we sell beer here." So I got me some beer. I thought you guys put on. I mean, Santa came on and opened up the show, but I thought you guys came out and played a wonderful performance. You guys gave a wonderful performance.
Thank you.
From Ernest lighting his cymbals on fire.
Yeah.
I thought Gumby came out and really put it out there. And I didn't say this earlier, and I wanted to say this earlier. Gumby, I know you're going to watch this interview. I wish you would have been here tonight, bro. I know you're out somewhere.
He's
out of town,
out
of state. But I wish you would have been here, bro, because I would have praised you. Like I said earlier, having your voice back in the band is crucial. It's a blessing, and really brought Wicked Angel back to the forefront of San Antonio metal. And the performance that Gumby gave that night, he was so enthusiastic. He was so into it. And he is at the heart of it because he's center stage. And I thought it was wonderful. I thought you guys came out and played a great show. Was that the first time that release party? Was that the first time that you guys had played Battle for Evil, like all the songs from Battle for Evil, or no?
No, we've played those before, man, and we've even played them before we even recorded them, right? Because,
Watchtower.
I mean, since we've been playing with, in different cities like McAllen, and Harlingen and Dallas, we were playing these songs, and before we went to Houston, we had already been playing these songs live, and we were giving people, this music. And then finally we got to Houston and recorded.
Right.
And I mean, this is the stuff we've been coming up with. And this is Wicked Angel music, man, from us. And it's the best we got, so far. And we got
it's working.
We got some good response from people, man. I mean, playing for the metal fans. And they seem, they love that metal school, man. They love it.
One thing I remember when we played in Harlingen at Hop Shop, a couple of fans came up to us and says, "You know what I love most about you guys? Y'all are singing the songs, and that was a blessing, because they said, I mean the melody, the flow." Yeah, it's not just you're not saying words. You're actually singing. Y'all singers actually singing, and that's what we've always tried to keep. That Iron Maiden, that Merciful Fate, type of singing.
Yeah, we definitely play the metal in our style, man. Sometimes when we write these pieces, we say, well, is it metal, man? Well, it's our music, man. So, but we kind of we want to stick to that and play what we play. And so we compose these pieces, we create, and we say, let's see what happens. And that's part of the creative process, you know? And so we have these ideas, we have these riffs, and then we get together and we come up with something and see how it goes. But, you know, it's a few strings and imagination, man, you know, and the creativity. And let's see what happens.
And corazon.
And corazon, brother. You know,
And corazon.
a lot of it, dude. Corazon.
I thought too, what was really cool that evening, before you guys played, you guys took an opportunity to thank Larry and James. You guys gave them some plaques.
Yes.
I thought that was cool, man.
Oh,
that was
man,
very
you know,
very nice.
So yeah, I mean, I took it upon myself to plan this event with the approval of the band. And my biggest thing was like, I wanted to give back to the people who were there for us.
For sure.
And, you know, man, James and Larry have been a big guidance. Not just supporting, but a big guidance. You know, even
as
to now.
people too.
Yes. You know, even to now.
Not just as a professional band, but as human beings, as people.
Yeah. You know, and if I can say this, I want to give you an example. Larry texted me a few weeks ago. Hey man, Battle for Evil's not on social media yet. You know, what happened? I'm like, man, Larry, I'm mentally and emotionally drained. And he's like, amárate los huevos, cabrón. Pretty much what he said.
Yeah.
You know, he goes like, you got to push through this. You can do it.
Yeah.
And I shared that with the guys. And I'm like, to get an inspiration from someone of that magnitude, because I look at Larry as someone from like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden,
and he's
that big of a person.
He's older
to me.
than all of us.
Yeah, and a very very successful and very humble, very caring, and he shows that he cares. I've never had that from no other band member from any other band. I mean, Kenneth in the past was a good friend of mine, and he says, you know, you guys are a good band. You know, Kenneth Ortiz, you know, who knows what happened to him. But someone of that magnitude of like Larry Barragan to have that faith in you and says, you can do it, bro. I believe in you.
Well, you know what,
man.
too? You know what, too? He put a lot of work into Battle for Evil.
He did, man. He worked his ass off, man.
And, you know, Battle for Evil, as much as it represents Wicked Angel, it represents him, too.
Absolutely.
So he wants people to hear it.
He really
He wants people to say, look, that, man.
He put his heart and soul into this,
For
man,
sure.
as a producer. And, you know, I think you can hear it, man.
For sure. For sure. It's a great record, bro. And that's why you're here. I'm a fan of this record.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
And that's why you're here, bro, because I listened to this record. I jammed this record. And if I like this record, I know people who watch our show are going to love it too, man. Especially, you know, there's some people... I don't know what it is, but there's people all around the world who just love Texas metal.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
definitely.
no more Texas metal than fucking Wicked Angel, right?
No.
man.
God,
man.
come on.
All those bands, man, you know, like this is the thing about Texas and really specifically South Texas metal, right?
Yeah.
Because it was
South Texas
yeah,
metal.
South Texas metal. It was all like all these bands, man, you know, that we can talk about, man. Wizard, Slayer, you know, Watchtower, they're all
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, Hellstar, you know, Wicked Angel, all these are South BYFIST, right? All these are bands from the South Texas, man.
Yeah.
And it's like we all kind of like built this kind of scene, man, you know, where this type of music, man, it still moves us today, man, you know? It's like you created this music, we still listen to all this music, and it still moves us to this day, man. And that's from South Texas.
It's part of our soul, bro.
Absolutely.
It's part of our soul. It'll never leave us.
I told Kevin what the Roxy, I mean, what the Roxy, the Whiskey a Go-Go, or what the Sunset Strip was to Hollywood or LA in the 80s, that's what San Antonio was in the metal scene back in the 80s. You know, you had the Troubadour, the Sunset Strip, and on the Sunset Strip, the Whiskey a Go-Go. We had the Cameo Theater and the fucking Via Fontana.
Yeah, and the Woodlawn Theater.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I went to a chingo badass shows. And a little later, the Showcase Theater.
Yep, the Showcase.
Went to a lot of badass shows at the Showcase. Let's talk about what's coming up next for you guys as far as shows. You guys got the big Watchtower show September 5th.
Yeah.
with Militia and the James Rivera Metal Asylum.
Yeah.
Which should be cool. Oh,
well,
no more James.
I think there might be some change.
So Metal Asylum had to pull out of that show, but they're going to headline the day after with Las Cruces, Invel, Powerhouse, and some other band under Mike Plata's.
Yeah.
So what I tell is anybody that's going to go to the Watchtower show, freaking keep that party going to the next day, man.
Wow.
You know.
Everybody's going to be out for the Watchtower Wicked Angel show, though.
Definitely.
Everybody's going to be there.
So it'll just be Wicked Angel, Militia, and Watchtower on September 5th.
Watchtower, Wicked Angel, and Militia.
Yes. No Metal Asylum. Metal Asylum will headline the next day with Las Cruces.
Is that also Mike Plata show?
No, just on the day after.
No, but whose show is the Watchtower show?
Venom Productions.
Okay. All right.
After Dark Productions are in Venom.
I haven't been to a Watchtower show in a long time.
2 years ago.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we opened up for them when they came out for the reunion tour, and lit my cymbals on fire and got in trouble.
I'm saying the crew hasn't been to a Watchtower show in a long time.
We got into trouble for this guy lights his drums on fire, his cymbals, and we got into trouble for that.
Yeah, bro,
man.
we already had Great White.
It's like I know.
Matar gente,
it's like,
no matas, no matas
cool
todos los
it.
mexicanos en San Antonio.
They told him,
favor.
cool it, man. Do not burn your cymbals.
I do carry my own fire extinguisher.
Good.
I thought he was going to light me on fire, man. I'm right next to the dude, and I'm like, hey, man.
But that's what we're known for.
Or he's going to burn one of your
guitars.
guitars.
God damn, dude. I know. I was like, I just saw the flame behind me. I said, I'm going to catch on fire one of these days, too, dude.
Más pa' acá, bro, because he's going to burn your most precious guitar.
Know, like,
I'd love to see you guys go to Europe.
Oh my God. Thank you.
I think that could happen. Okay, I think that could happen.
Maybe you can help us out here because I've been trying to contact. As a matter of fact, Nikos, I forget his name, Nikos something, who has dealt with HELSTAR, who's HELSTAR's going to go to Greece, right? Mm-hmm. He really he did he did a review of the album and loved it, and he's trying to get us in contact with someone to get us to Greece. So. Thank you guys for those guys that are working with us in Europe and to be true that have gotten our music. Hopefully being signed by No Dust Records, who you know also signed BYFIST and Cyrus. Cyrus got to go to not so much To Be True, but they did a festival outside of To Be True. Hopefully we'll get there because that is our ultimate goal. I mean, that is my dream. That is my passion is to play Europe.
I think it can happen. It just takes a little bit of finagling and persistence. And if anybody can make that happen, it's Larry and James. We'll see, man. Stay positive.
Absolutely.
Have good energy.
Yeah, that's right.
And good things will happen.
That's right. And believe in your music, man. This is what I tell the guys. It's like, look, a lot of times, man, artists, whether you're a painter, a writer, a musician, I know a lot of friends who are jazz musicians and, rock guitarists, metal guitarists. It's like the art itself is the reward, right? Right? You make a record and you're proud of the music you created. That's your creativity. That's you right there, man. And whatever you get from it. But art itself is the reward you get. The paintings you make, the music you make, the writings.
Because that's going to live on forever.
It's going to live on forever. That's right.
You're immortalizing yourself.
That's right. That's right, man. The things you create.
You're going to live. Your music is going to live on way past your life.
That's right. And that's just why artists do that, because ultimately, man, that's really what stays is the things you create.
Right.
And so you put everything you got into the art form that you practice, and people will relate to it. And that's why we do what we do, because everything else is secondary. And we live for art, and we live for music. And hopefully people will feel the music and the energy that we're creating through metal, right? Specifically metal music. And if you can do that and touch people and move people, then you're on the right track.
For sure. Let's talk about social media now. Ernest, you kind of talked about how Larry was like, come on, what's going on with social media? As an older band, do you feel you've kind of adapted well to all the social media outlets that you need to cater to be kind of like maintaining your presence in the scene?
Absolutely not.
I know it's challenging. Because there's so many different outlets.
Well, we're not knowledgeable in that.
Right.
For example, when we first started putting out our singles towards our release party, we knew we had to go to CD Baby through the recommendation of Larry.
Right.
They start with CD Baby,
and CD Baby puts it out everywhere.
Right. Roland and I spent about an hour and a half trying to figure this shit out because we're not knowledgeable in that. Right? Now I've gotten better at it. Hey. I've gotten better at it.
You should have told Larry, "Hey, do a Zoom with me. Help me out."
He was helping us, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's like, we need to put in our own work and we need to do it on our own, right? I mean, yeah, it's good to get advice, but you can't depend on everybody to come and babysit you. So we've gotten better. I've learned a lot. Bandcamp is one thing that I'm working on. I met a flight attendant from American Airlines yesterday. She's like, get on TikTok, get on Instagram. And I just don't have the knowledge, but that's not an excuse. I mean, honestly, like if you're hungry for it, you got to go out and get it. So I am. There's this guy that I got to give credit to, and his name's Larry Morales. He has helped me create the videos, the promotions that have led us to successful notifications on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I want to learn that. I have not been able to get together with him to learn how to do these videos and stuff like that. But it's worked. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot out there that we can use that we don't know how. We're stuck in the past, but unfortunately, that's not an excuse. Yeah, there's a lot of sites that you go on there and said unsigned bands, on Facebook and stuff like that. Is that going to get us noticed? A little bit. But there's a lot more out there, and because I feel like I handle a lot of that area of the band. It's my responsibility to go out there and search, and that's where the emotional and mental fatigue come in. But
for sure.
But I'm gonna, like Larry says, you'll never hear those words from me. I'm emotionally and mentally fatigued. Hell no, get that shit out of your mind. And you want to go to Europe? Press through.
You got to work on it.
I'm working on that.
It is unfortunately a component of being a working band or any entity in the music business that has to be worked very hard.
Yep.
Even us, we do our work like tonight, videoing interviews or videotaping a band, but yet on the back end, JB and I work really hard in editing, creating reels, documenting photos, tagging photos, and then distributing that material even before we release our interview.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a process, and one that has, grown and gotten better over time. It is a time-consuming thing, and it takes time to get better.
I had a booking agent about a few weeks ago says, I'm willing to help you guys out. Send me an EPK. The fuck is an EPK? But 2 months,
electronic press kit.
But 2 months ago, this lady that I was working with, Liana Rahman out of Houston, she's like, you got to get an EPK. Okay, so she brought that up to me. So why did I not take it upon myself to learn and get it ready? Because now it's like, okay, now this booking agent is asking me for an EPK because they're willing to help us out. I had 2 months to figure this stuff out.
Right.
Why didn't I jump on it? Right? Because honestly, because I give up. And that's the mentality that I got to get rid of. It's like, stop giving up and figure it out.
Well, this is the thing too. Like a lot of the young bands now in San Antonio, a lot of the young dudes in these bands, they're members in the band, they play an instrument, but they're also very savvy and on the back end stuff. Yep. They either are video editors, social media content creators, social media marketing guys. Yeah, you don't have any of that stuff. So what I would recommend to you is maybe, hiring some young kid to handle all your
Let me give you an example.
social media stuff and just pay him a few $100 a month and say, hey, you handle all our social media stuff. You put our stuff on like Julie does my TikTok. I handle my Facebook and my Instagram. And I remember Julie was the one that kept saying, we got to do TikTok. We got to do TikTok. She's always on TikTok.
I hear that a lot. Yep.
And I'm like, I
Post
can't
every day,
do
post
it.
every
I
day.
can't do it. I'm already doing enough. I can't do it.
That's where I am, Rob.
I said, you do it. She goes, okay, I'll do it. Just give me the content.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I can send you the content. I said, but you post it, you take care of it, you manage it. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Here's a funny story. When we're trying to create the album cover to Battle for Evo, Roland, and because he's an artist, he's like, I want to do the painting. I want to do the cover. I said, okay. And you were done it for what, like 2 months?
Roland, you did that cover?
I did.
Oh,
I did that through AI. But he was painting.
I was like, damn, bro.
I said, bro,
Yeah.
you can't. Like, where are you at now? I'm still painting. Where are you at now? Bro, can you send us an example? Like, painting.
I wasn't gonna meet the deadline.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna meet the deadline that was required to get this thing produced, right? So I was like, guys, I mean, yeah, I've come up with designs and logos.
He's a great artist.
And
he's a terrific artist.
Graphics for the band before. But this time I wasn't gonna be able to meet it, dude. So
you can't take forever.
Yeah, I know you can't.
That's what I kept bitching about.
That's why he was like, we're not gonna make it, dude. We gotta be able to get this thing on there. So I was like, you know what, man? I don't think it's gonna be ready, man, because I mean, I gotta let these layers of paint dry and so on. It's not gonna be ready. We're gonna have to go another route, man.
That was his excuse. I gotta let this painting layer dry.
And that's just the way it goes in oil paint.
So I'm like, you know what?
Nah, guys.
I had to interfere. I'm like, screw you. I'm doing it. I
We're
did.
gonna have to-
I
we're
got
gonna
on
have to
AI.
go AI it, dude.
And that's what I came up with.
Rick's a master at ChatGPT.
For a guy who's never done AI, Rob, what do you think of my AI?
It's beautiful.
Thank
I love
you,
it.
man. Thank you.
I love it.
We had to go with it, man, because I said, okay, the old way of doing it, it may be like another century of stuff, dude. But so we'll go with AI.
Guys, let's move on. And as we end out and we get near the end of this interview, of course, we have to talk about San Antonio, and we have to talk about what's happening in our scene. You guys have been around since the early days, the 80s. And, when I think about bands from the 80s, San Antonio bands from the 80s, we've mentioned many of those bands, Cyrus and Wizard and
Slayer,
Ray Alder and S.A. Slayer. I always kind of think about like those were like the power metal days, right?
Yep.
High vocal,
that's right.
Power metal days, right?
Steve Cooper,
Steve Cooper. I was thinking about that name.
That's right, man.
Vic Real,
right?
How do you? Now, because you guys are playing shows and working with booking agents and promoters and stuff, how do you feel the scene has changed since that time?
I mentioned this.
Good or bad?
Bad. I think it's bad.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
Well, of course. It's become
cover bands
so much more
tribute
complex.
Bands. Yeah. I love cover bands and I love tribute bands. I got the Molina brothers. I'm gonna give a shout out to them. They have a tribute Slayer, they have a King Diamond Slayer, and they're great. They're great. But it seems like cover bands and tribute bands have just like they get more exposure than bands with original music. You got bands, the Journey tributes band, that are playing the Aztec Theater, and you like, whoa, what the hell?
Fuck? Yeah, I know.
This is not Journey.
I know. Metallica cover band. Yeah.
Like they're
playing Aztec.
Theater. So
and don't even think about how much you're getting paid.
I believe it. I can imagine. So it's not that I look down upon them, because I don't. They're great musicians. One thing that I told Nika Sakas from Greece, because he asked me the same question. I'm like, you know what? You can play in a great tribute band, but the thing is this: what can you create? Yeah, you can shred this, but what's your creation? And I'm not saying that you're not a good guitar player because you can't create. I mean, you're obviously a bad guitar player because you can shred and play Randy Rhoads and play Dave Mustaine and all that stuff, but the creation and Roland is the shit he creates. Even Joseph, although the stuff that he's done away from Wicked Angel is phenomenal. Watchtowerish, definitely not our style, but he's a phenomenal guitarist. And sometimes Joseph plays in a lot of cover bands, and sometimes I understand why he does that, because there's a lot of money in it, right. Crazy money. But support, Larry put it best. If it wasn't for you playing this Black Sabbath song, where would you be? Like, there's no music from you.
If these guys weren't coming up with the music, there'd be nothing to tribute, right?
Bingo.
If these artists weren't creating songs and this music, then there'd be nothing to cover. There'd be nothing to tribute. So we need artists to create, right?
Sure.
And so the cover bands are fun, and we all play covers and so on. But it's like, it's creating the creative process of creating new music and new songs and new ideas, and to keep this metal art form alive, because like I said, it's timeless. So as you're coming up with new stuff, it doesn't matter what year it was, man. It's like you're still got the power and the feeling and the energy, man. And so, but like Ernie was talking about, there seems to be a lot of cover bands in the scenes and bar bands and so on. Nothing wrong with that. But a group of guys that are coming up with their own stuff, and new songs.
And that's really relevant because, at the end of the day, it all comes to integrity. Like, what's more important to you, to be creative and artistic, or the mighty dollar? ¿Verdad?
Yep.
Sure. Okay, right. So that is a question that many musicians are confronted with throughout their careers, and some people choose the dollar, and some people choose to have high integrity and to choose the art.
That's right.
I can't tell you. Because throughout our career, how many bands have said, "Rob, I'll drop you $3 if you interview us." I'm not doing it because I'm not a fan of your band, bro.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's like, I tell my son, look what I created. And he's like, my son's proud of me. So if I played in a tribute band, what did I create?
You didn't create nothing. You're living off someone's carcass.
You really didn't. And
you're living off someone's carcass.
Right. And this is why, we need artists to create this music, to create songs, and to create art. And because without these artists, man, there would be nothing to copy. There'd be nothing to cover, So we encourage artists to continue to create, be creative, your own ideas out there, and give us this music,
Sure.
And just like Wicked Angel, we're giving the world the best that we got so far, right? We got other stuff coming up, and but this is for the metal world, and hopefully they like it.
There was this band that opened up for Quiet Riot, Slaughter, and Great White. I can't remember the name of the band. It's a family band, kids, at a fiesta a couple of years ago, and I like their music. But they're on tour because they play covers, and I'm like,
they're little kids, right? Where are they from? Houston?
No, they're not from Houston. They're from Santa Monica Pier, from LA.
You know what?
God, what's the name of the band? Because I have pictures of them. I mean, and I met them.
Is the singer a little girl?
It's a girl.
Yeah. They sent me stuff.
Lilac.
They sent me some stuff,
They're
and they wanted me to promote them. I'm like, I'm not promoting little kids.
So and I like them. I mean, they do have some originals.
Yeah.
But when and so when they opened up for Quiet Riot, Slaughter, and Great White, they played maybe five covers and like 2 originals. And I'm like, and they're on tour.
Well, that's the novelty. They're little kids. That's the novelty.
It's like,
That's the novelty, bro.
What the hell,
Right.
Where's our break?
Well,
Let's talk about videos now. Have you guys done an official video for anything off of?
Yeah, I know.
Dallas, did we?
No. So Larry Morales helped me create a video for Ferryman. I've been working with Rich to try to get it on Facebook. I thought I put it on Facebook, but I guess
For what song?
Ferryman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After this, I might have to show it to you because
on YouTube, right?
did it come out on YouTube? I don't
I
know.
saw it on
Gumby did one
I
for
haven't
Battle
seen it
for
on
Evil.
YouTube.
I mean, I think it was maybe Ferryman.
I did one for Ferryman.
Right.
What is it? A performance video?
It's half and half. I actually took the idea off of the Warlord, the new song Warlord, Heaven and Hell or whatever.
There's shots of the band.
But is it
and
just
other
like
videos.
video,
Yeah.
live video?
It's a con-
No.
videos are-
It's video and
performance.
there's band performance and the Ferryman going through the river stick.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
show it to you. I'll show it to
I
you.
haven't seen that.
Okay, I've been trying to post it on Facebook, but
Why don't you? You know what you should do? We can talk about this after the video,
For sure.
after our interview. You should send it to me, and then I'll premiere it on our platform.
Okay, now Gumby did one of Battle for You, but it was just the lyrics. And so I told Gumby that to me that was a waste. And
just
again,
so there,
that's
know.
something I'm learning.
I want the performance with the
Yeah,
Ferryman.
I'll show it to you. You'll like it. Rick, I showed it to you, right? Yeah.
Rick, you should send it to me, and
I
I'll
showed it to you.
premiere it.
I
on
sent it
Rob's.
to Rick. I sent it to Rick.
I'll premiere it on the Rob's
Okay,
platform, and
man,
we'll
yeah.
promote it.
So that's something that I want to work with too. Now, there's this guy named Anthony Cruz.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to get with him because he has this agreement. I'm like, you know what? Help it. I have ideas for videos. See, again, I'll say, I'm thinking, yeah, I want to do videos. Gonna be like, that's the '80s stuff.
Well, we're 80s, dude.
Fuck no,
But,
videos are more important than ever.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, and so yeah, so we do have 2 videos out. But then that's it. There's live performances, but as far as videos,
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
For
not
this
talking
music-
about bootleg
Yeah.
video like
no.
from phones
no.
and shit. I'm
Uh,
talking about like a legit.
we'll definitely
music
send you.
video.
We'll definitely send you Ferryman.
Send it to me. We'll talk about it later. All right, guys. Lastly, before we end out, are you guys writing any new music right now?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Talk about
man.
that real quick. And when can we expect new music from the band?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we're working on in our songwriting, and I've got all kinds of songs written, and they're getting better,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's like any other craftsmanship,
Are you gonna redo Night of the Sacrifice?
We're gonna do that one, Night of the
Yeah.
Sacrifice, and we've got other ones.
I'm sorry, Roland.
Go ahead.
We actually played the new version of Not a Sacrifice when we opened up with Face Warning.
Yeah.
But again, it just got tossed out. Joseph wrote a killer song. Again, that just kind of just got lost. But we have about 4 new originals that have not been recorded. Oh, we
That's
have,
great.
We played some of them live, and we're also thinking about, because we play Breaking the Spell so much. We want to recreate it in our own version.
Where's that from?
Breaking the Spell's from Wizards. It got released, but it's
Didn't I see you guys cover
we
an
all
SA Slayer
we-
song too?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
We've done those songs, man.
Yeah.
Prepare to Die. Was it Prepare to Die?
Prepare to Die, Final Holocaust, and Unholy Book.
What the
we
fuck?
played them.
Wow.
So one thing that I always tell the band is like, nobody does this shit, and we want to give praise to those people who kind of not guided us but influenced us. So to me, it's like SA Slayer, Wizard. We've done City of the Skies with Mike Vasquez.
Yeah. Because a lot of this music, man, from these bands, because they're no longer together, right? These bands aren't together, and so we keep those songs going,
Sure.
man. Because they're not gonna play them any longer.
For
It's
sure.
like, so we do it,
One of the things, and I don't mean to step back or rehash. A lot of the great bands that we've talked about tonight in SA history were great bands, but they released like one record.
We're just talking about that.
We're
We're just talking about that.
You're right.
A demo here or there. So when people talk to me and say, Rob, you know, so I used to have this conversation all the time with Scott Fulweiler here at this fucking table. And, you know, I would say no one's greater and better than HELSTAR. HELSTAR.
Amen.
What?
Man, HELSTAR.
I already, have you guys heard the new HELSTAR record?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I've had the new HELSTAR record for a while, even though it doesn't come out till September 5th.
I'm actually going to be at their gig in New York with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at 61 years old, Larry and James are putting out their, I don't know, 15th, 14th record.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And none of the old bands from the 80s are nowhere near that fucking number of full-length records.
I got in trouble, and I was telling Rick and Roland earlier today at Ojos Locos, it's like I got in trouble on Facebook with the administrator from SA Slayer because they posted that they were going to possibly release a live version of To Be True. And I love SA Slayer. I've been a fan of SA Slayer since I was 13 years old, and I love them. But I felt like it was unfair to the fans, especially here in San Antonio, that they couldn't perform for the San Antonio, but yet they want us to purchase a live version of their music. Not that I wouldn't, but it's like, really? I mean, you got together for one show. What about the show? What about a show in San Antonio where your people are at? Nothing against them. I wasn't being ugly, but I got to.
Well, who knows how much Christian Larson paid him to do Hell's Heroes? Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure to get Jazarmbek, McMaster, McLean, especially
Van Stavern,
fucking Donnie there. They had to pay him a pretty dollar to be there, bro.
Yeah.
Those guys are vets. They're not doing it for free.
That's what that was one thing I like. Are you doing it for your passion or for the money? You see, we're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for the passion. And all we're asking for is like, you know what?
I guarantee you those guys wouldn't have played that show if there's no money.
Give us a listen. Give us a listen to. I mean, we're not going to disappoint. We're not going to disappoint.
You know, it's a sticky thing. I remember one time when I interviewed the band that McMaster used to be in.
Your Stories?
No, the really heavy band. I forgot what they're called.
Teeth or
what are they called? No.
Watch the. Oh
No, I can't remember what band he was in that was here. I'll tell you right now, they're a really heavy band that with Bird from with Pitbull Daycare, and I remember he made some comments about Donnie continuing Riot without Mark Rial.
Oh yeah,
he made some very strong comments about how he was not in agreement with it.
One thing Bobby Jerzombek said to me was, and I applaud him for that, was he's like, it's not right anymore. That's why I bowed out. I mean, you know, it's with Mark Rial, it's no longer Riot. Right. So going back to 87, without Gumby, without Mark, it wouldn't be Wicked Angel anymore. So that's why I wouldn't want to be part of it.
Sure.
You know, if Joseph left the band,
left
the band,
there you go.
Yeah.
And that's what Jason was saying. It was like, you know, Mark Rial was Riot. So without Mark Rial, these dudes are just like writing and it's just a money grab.
It's not the same, man.
It's not the same. It's just a money grab. And that's what he was saying.
We don't want to be that.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
And
I remember when he was saying it, he was sitting right here saying it on camera. And I was like, whoa, you know, and to my knowledge, like him and Donnie were like tight friends. So for him to be saying that on my show was like really kind of, I was taken a little bit back by them. But, you know, well, people are gonna do what they can do to make money in this industry.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
And, you know, one of the most difficult things to do is to just stay together as a band, man. You know, it's like I tell, you know, the guys in the band, look, man, it's like we're one of the few bands standing, man, from that time, you know, because most bands, you know, break up and they no longer can work with each other, you know. So somehow we figured out a way to work with each other and tolerate each other and still create metal music. as best we can. But a lot of bands, man, it's like they just like hang it up because they cannot get along together, man. And that's it with a lot of the things, not just in bands, right?
Man, I got pissed off at Roland one time. I'm like, you fucking moron, and he's like, yeah, I may be, but you know what? And then Joseph got mad at me, like, you shouldn't be calling Roland. Like, well, Roland still knows that I love him. Yeah, but you shouldn't be saying that shit. You're a fucking asshole. But see, that's the shit that we all put up with one another. But we make it through.
I can't see Roland getting upset.
No, at all. He was so calm. I still love you. You're still my buddy. You fucking moron.
I mean, a lot of that stuff, man, you got to kind of like just kind of play off, man, because you cannot take it seriously and stuff when somebody blows up or something like that.
Right.
And it's like, look, man, I'm here for the art and the music, and it's like.
And then when you have people in the band who are not making it fun anymore, then.
Yeah, if there's other problems like that, then of course you cannot work. If there's an individual who cannot work with, then you got to make changes. But for the most part, it's like keeping a band together, man, is one of the hardest things to do.
I work my boys really hard, and this past month has been horrendously busy for us. And I tell my boys, last week we did an interview Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, right.
Fucking 3 interviews in 3 days, bro. And then sometimes we do 2-3 interviews in 1 day.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell my boys, this is the schedule. This is what we're doing. And they fucking bite the bullet. Rick has to tell his old lady.
You gotta get in.
I'm sure Rick's old lady hates me. She's like, "What? You're gonna go with Rob again? God damn it!" I bribe JB because I just buy him beer and he's happy. But my boy, I get it. I gotta keep my boys happy. And, I try to be the best boss I can, and I try to give back to them and help them to understand too that even though Roland is the main mastermind, that this is a cohesive unit, that we are a band.
Right.
Roland couldn't do it by himself.
No.
I tell these guys, I couldn't do it by myself either.
No, you can't.
I need these guys to make Rob what it is.
That's right.
So it's important to always keep that in perspective. And that keeps the machine moving forward and moving stronger.
Right.
Okay, guys, as we end out, I want to it's time to bring.
Yeah.
I do.
Are you all right, Rick? Come on.
Make sure you announce that. Rob, make sure you announce that we are back we are with Crimson Glory.
Well, you're saying
okay. Hey, so our next shows are, of course, September 5th with Watchtower and Militia at Fitzgerald's. October 4th at the Mix under Silver One events with Mike Platas and Rose Suarez with Metal Riser and NXL and some other band at the Mix. And then we got October 24th, the big one with HELSTAR, Santa Oscuridad, and Crimson Glory.
That should be fun.
Oh, yeah, that was a new show, right? They got added?
Yes.
Okay,
October 24th.
So let me give Rick a chance to chime in. And Rick, you were waving me down saying, "Oh, no, that's bullshit." Tell me about all the discrepancies.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rick Martinez. I am the original drummer for Wicked Angel. We started in my room.
Oh, my God.
Before I start talking, I want to send out a big hearty and handshake to Rob for being on the show. It is an honor. 2 things I always remember. First time I met him was right after 9/11 at Rick the Rhino's shop on Paramvidal. What was it called? The CD Trader?
CD Trader.
CD Trader. It was right after 9/11. That Saturday was going to be Divine Ruin, Las Cruces, and HELSTAR reunion without Larry Barragan. He wasn't in the band. I met you. I knew who you were when your show. You and I talked, and it was great. I always remember you laugh because we were talking metal, and I go, "I love metal. I'm from the 80s. No disrespect. I'm not into the Cookie Monster vocals." I remember you laughed. I go, it's just not me. 2, I remember the first time I ever saw your show by mistake. It was public access. Every once in a while, they would show risque girls or something. So I went on there looking for girls, and I saw you with your New York Yankee hat talking to somebody. I go, "What is this guy? Oh, wait a minute." And I wish I could remember who. I knew it was a rocker. And I was like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "This is awesome." this guy is cool. He's from San Antonio. The only thing I hated, you only had one mic. I was like, God, buy a second mic for the other guy. But I was blown away. So when I met you, and again, how cool it was that it was the week after 9/11 that I met you, bro. So to be here, to interviewing my friends, I thank you, bro. It is an honor to be here.
Oh,
now,
man, thank you.
I love to say that I am the historian of Wicked Angel. I got some stories.
You are.
Let's tell number one. Why did Roland disappear for the show in Dallas?
Oh, he didn't go to Wisconsin.
Now, everybody wants to say he pulled a Michael Shankner. When UFO was coming to America for Lights Out, they lost him. Being the guitarist artist he is. People have said that. I go, no. I heard it from my brother. They were going to go to Dallas in Mark Zamaran's dad's black truck and had a camper. You young kids don't remember, campers used to be in the back. There was no back seat. It could only fit 3 people and some. I don't know if they drew straws or what. Roland got picked to be in the back. So he said, nope. And the next day, they couldn't find him. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, guys.
I think that's the true story.
But it had nothing to do with him going to college. That was later, yeah.
It was a 3-titted chick. It was a 3-titted chick.
Fucking Roland even has lied to himself.
Exactly. Number 2, I got to say,
In the back to Dallas now.
one of the things that got me, Roland, and Joseph, the other guitarist, with getting in the middle, we 3 were at the show on Austin Highway with when Slayer played in the back. I remember Slayer and I remember Metalis because they had a real cool. Their logo was awesome. Me and Roland are into comic book and arts, and we saw them, and we'll never forget that. Why didn't Slayer win? They tore it up. I didn't find out till 2 years ago that Joseph Valdez said they were not allowed to be in the contest. Right. Yeah, they played, but Slayer, guys, that was with Art Villarreal in the band. Yeah. That inspired. You guys were from San Antonio.
Right.
You only were maybe 3-4 years older than us. We were standing there going, oh, hell no. We didn't give a shit if you were black, white, Mexicano, Chinese. You were from San Antonio. That was a big inspiration. These guys, here we go. These guys talk about Larry and James. Thank you guys for helping us up. James was the one that told Ernie, you all should go to talk to Larry about recording. Yeah. Me and Roland, and maybe Ernie was there. We were here at Via Fontana, The Offenders, HELSTAR, and Slayer. We were blown away with HELSTAR.
What year was that?
82?
No, 84. No.
85.
That was Burning Star record.
Yeah. It wasn't even out yet.
Gumby. Oh, it was before Burning Star.
Yes, I'll tell you. And here's a story I told James when we were partying at Ernie's one night. I go, James, I may have told you this before, but I'm going to tell you right now. We saw y'all. Me and Roland loved Run With the Pack. Yeah. When the album came out, Gumby, who doesn't remember this, he was the first one to buy the album at South Park Mall. Right in the middle, there was a music store. And they actually were selling HELSTAR. He bought it. All of us skipped school to learn that song.
What?
Because we were playing at the South Sand patio. So it wasn't a talent show. It was the band. Yeah, the band hall was having a battle of bands. Nah, it wasn't even that. We were the only rock band. Right. Because after us was Manuel Stejano band.
Yeah, it was the festival.
Yeah, it was a festival. Anyway, so we skipped school to learn that song. And here's a story I've always told, which is a rock and roll story. We played it. We tore it up. The middle part, we were young. We couldn't get it. Joseph came up with a second part. We like that. We played it. Improvised it. Years later, I go, hey, that's a Jakey Lee from Bark at the Moon. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, man.
We're rock stars. We're playing, and Gumby finished the song, and he goes, we skipped school to learn this song. Well, Gumby's mom was checking us out.
What?
So that night, we were all gonna go eat pizza to celebrate, and Gumby's mom goes, "I'm proud of you, but you're grounded for skipping school." Oh, talk about your rock star moment right there, man. Talk about a rock star moment. Guys, another thing I wanted to say, we've been talking about Gumby. Gumby is the lead singer for Wicked Angel. I think in the album, it's only David Caballero. Did y'all put Gumby in parentheses? Yeah. So when y'all hear us saying Gumby, we are talking David. That is his name. We only know him as Gumby. That's the way we met him. That's the way we know him. I also want to throw out a shout out to our good friend Carlos Dead Horse Navarro, who is gonna come. He gave these guys some money to get the album and the CD out. Right?
Oh, okay, go okay.
And we asked them, dude, why do you want to do this? He goes, because I believe in you guys. He goes, you guys, this is y'all's time.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
To hear that from a friend, this is y'all's time.
And he's just a fan or what?
He's just a fan and a friend. One of our friends growing up, you know, He calls him his roadie, but I think he's more. He got mentioned. I did not get mentioned. These guys here, but he got.
Pero estás en la interview.
But here I am. That's right. And I thank you for letting me come in. Yeah, no.
You're welcome.
I love Rob. Rob, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you were Wicked Angel. Oh, one more thing. Rob, you and I were at, is it called the Bang Bang Club on Broadway?
Yeah, Bang Bang Club.
You were there. I think we were seeing, what's the name? They changed their name. Not Allison Chains.
Saving Jackie?
Yes. Their new name?
Saving Jackie.
Okay.
They used to be called Jackie on Acid.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I saw you there, and I went and I hugged you, and you kind of knew me because we talked before.
You hugged me?
Yeah. Hey, what's up? And I go, Rob, Wicked Angel is back together. They're working on new stuff. Will you interview them? And you go, as soon as they got stuff out, let me know. I went and I told all three guys, and Gumby was like, what? He wants to interview? I go, yeah. But you gotta get stuff out.
Right.
I never forgot that, and I told these guys. That's why tonight I told them, guys, I'm going. I met him. I know him. I don't care if I'm on camera. He'll let me in because he likes cigars, and I'm bringing him cigars. So I'm coming in. But yeah, I want to thank everybody out there for listening. Anybody out there, whatever you all heard, there is no disrespect to anybody. Not to any hard metal band, not to Ronnie Jarzombic, not to what's the guy from Riot? The bass player?
Mark Zamaron.
Donnie Van Stavern, Mark Zamaron, Jeff D. There is no disrespect to nobody, guys.
You guys were our idols. I mean, we still worship you. I mean, you were. You guys were idols. We look up to you guys then, and we still do now.
Yes. There is too much hate in the world, guys. The metal community has to stick together for the love of God. They don't have hatred.
Right.
Don't have hatred, guys. We need a jab. I'm waiting. I want to see a San Antonio Slayer reunion show with Militia. God, if Wizard can get together, I want to see Wizard, Wicked Angel. What's the one from Dallas? They're a little heavier. Rotten Corpse. Are they from
Rotting Corpse? They just played here.
Yeah, I know. Bring them, you know what I mean?
Gamma Psi también.
We got to stick together, guys, please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank
you for giving me the mic.
Thank you so much for that. Wow. That just added fucking a lot of points to this interview. I love it.
You got time for one quick story?
Ándale.
All right.
Ándale.
Who played at the Kelly abandoned dream drive-in theater? Was it Militia? No, the Juggernaut guys.
It was
Juggernaut. They threw the rats. Anybody remember that story?
Yeah, Juggernaut. When the guy came out of the coffin, right?
Yeah, okay.
What the fuck's his name? What the fuck's his name?
I'm
the
friends
singer
with his
from Juggernaut.
Harlan Glenn.
Yeah,
okay. Check this out, guys. I wasn't there. My brother was there. With some
that was
of
at
these
Cameo
guys.
Theater.
No. It was the Kelly Air Force, the Kelly Drive-In Theater. It's been abandoned. Yeah,
that was before the Cameo.
It was abandoned for years. Okay,
so what happened?
There was a show. My brother was there with Joseph and Roland. Harlan comes out and he's throwing dead rats.
Where the fuck did he get dead rats
But
from?
my brother didn't know, like Ozzy who bit the bat. My brother didn't know what they were. My brother picked up the rat. He freaked out. About 5 years ago at Booze Hounds, Harlan came.
They played a show.
It was a pre-reunion show. I don't think they did it. Yeah. And I grabbed Harlan and I go, Harlan, I got to tell you the story, man. I apologize. I was married. I didn't see you. But the famous rat story, my brother was there and he picked up a rat to throw back at you because he didn't know what it was. When my brother saw it,
¿Qué dijo?
He freaked out, man.
No, what did Harlan say that night?
Oh, no, he loved it. He started laughing. He goes, I don't do that no more. I go, thank God. Thank God.
Let me tell you something that you don't know either. That show at Booze Hounds with Harlan Glenn, Juggernaut, that was supposed to be a Rob's Metalworks show.
Really? Oh, wow. It was I think they only did 4 songs.
That was supposed to be a Rob's Metalworks event show. I got upset with Scott, the bass player, because I told him, hey, you just worry about playing the show. Let me worry about marketing the show and promoting the show. And I got mad at him because he released some footage of a rehearsal. And which basically when they release some footage of the rehearsal, then there's a show coming. And I got really upset with him. I said, fuck it, I'm out. And so I did not promote that show.
But I don't
think... And it ended up, it was going to be that Juggernaut show with Harlan.
Right. Yeah.
It would have been huge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
If it was promoted correctly, marketed correctly. But once I got out, they didn't have anybody to do it. And so they did it at Booze Hounds, bro. It came out... ¿Qué pasó? It was nothing.
It wasn't even.
It was nothing.
It was, I think, 4 songs.
It was
good, but it wasn't. Hey, what's the name of that book from San Antonio that's real popular? All the metal, all the pictures.
Oh, no, don't even get me started on that.
There's
a dude who did that book. I could tell you a story about.
There's a picture where Harlan is popping out of
the coffin.
Okay, in the front. Yeah, is it a cameo? Yeah. In the front, you see Wicked Angel guys and a couple of our friends. My brother, Joseph, Roland, our buddy Philip, who was the original bass player for Wicked Angel. Victor's on there, who passed away from Roulette. Yep. It is so cool. That one picture is so cool. Yeah. When I showed it to my brother goes, that's not me. That's you. That's you. That was a great picture, man. Yeah.
Omni Productions did some badass shows back then, man. Omni Productions.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a wonderful, unprecedented fucking interview. Yeah, I want really quick, guys. Let's keep it brief because this has been a long chat. JB's telling me we're running out of we're on 2 hours now.
Wow.
Let me give each one of you an opportunity just to say any thank yous, last comments, or anything. Let's start with Roland.
Thank you very much for having us, man. This has been great, and we appreciate your time, and we hope people get a hold of the new EP and enjoy the music we've created, and let's keep this metal music going, man, because it's a great art form that moves us and keeps us going and keeps us young, man, and the passion we had when we were teenagers for metal, we still have it.
Roland, I'm glad I got to meet you tonight, man.
Thank you so much,
You're
Rob.
a fucking cool-ass dude, man.
Thank you.
Rick, any last words? Go for it, Rick.
Once again, guys, with the metal community, we love everybody. I don't care what funny stories you heard or what, we're not talking bad about anybody. We all need to get together. Let's get that San Antonio, what is it that Jason says, the Southwest region or South Texas Legion, that is going to be great. Militia, Watchtower. If Wizard happens, Wizard. Even Cyrus. We love our Cyrus. They were in the high school right above us. Right. McCullum, we were South San. You know what I mean? And again, I'm sorry, from Dallas, Riding Corpse. Bring them along too. You know what I mean? Have a great Texas, like Jason McMaster says, Southwest Texas metal. That'd be great, man.
Ernie,
go for it. Shout out to 01 Events for giving us our first opportunity. Larry Barragan, James Rivera for believing in us and making this happen true for us. Rob's Metalworks for having us here for everyone. For all the promoters, Liana Raman, Venom Productions, thank you for the upcoming opportunities that I know that you guys are going to give us. We appreciate it. We're not going to let anybody down. We're going to kick some fucking metal ass.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for a wonderful fucking interview. Sharing fucking drinks and sharing stories, sharing truths. I love it all, man. And this is all going to be documented in this interview tonight, because this interview will be immortalizing all of these moments and these stories for everyone around the world. I look forward to continuing to promote Battle for Evil. I look forward to new music from the band. Keep me in the loop.
You got it.
How am I supposed to talk about Wicked Angel if I don't know what the fuck's going on? So Roland, send me rough, send me whatever. Of course, you know, whatever you send me is only for me. But at the same time, it gives me and my boys an opportunity to discuss the band. And because I hope you guys keep doing your thing, man. You guys are the real deal. I love your passion. I love your integrity. So remember, everyone out there, the latest is called Battle for Evil. It's out there right now. Be sure to pick it up right after you watch this interview. You saw Wicked Angel only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.
Yeah.